Alright, hello class. I just wanted to do a quick video to explain our homework for Friday. I just realized that I forgot to do this, so I apologize if anyone has started and got confused, but this is what I have posted for our homework. The idea is that we would find each one of these elements on the periodic table. So let me pull up a periodic table. So for example, we might find that sodium on our periodic table is Na, which is number 11 right here. And then my question for you guys is to find the family or group it's in and the characteristic. So I will also make sure that you guys have access to this old PowerPoint from last week. We learned our different groups of our periodic table. So for example, sodium's in our first group. So I'd want you to write alkali metals. And then its characteristic. So if we don't remember, our characteristics are on this slide number 4. So our characteristic for our alkali metals is that it's highly reactive. So I would want you to fill out that it is highly reactive. And then do the same for the rest of these elements. So for when we go back to our characteristics, the underlined one is the one that I would want you to write in our characteristic box. So either write highly reactive, forms divalent cations, is highly thermal and electrically conductive, extremely reactive, or very stable. So that's kind of what I was hoping for this part of it. And then this bottom part of it, I want you guys to be able to draw our different shells. So we learned about this when we learned about our periods on how to draw them. We had lots of examples of having 2 electrons in our first shell, then 8 electrons in our second, and then 8 in the next. So the idea is as we go through our table, let me pull up this one, that each different row is a different shell. So our first shell is 1, our second shell is this second row or period, and our third shell is this third row or period. So each shell, our first shell set of shells would have 2, and then 8, a total of 8 if we could, and then 8 more, and then we would start getting more. So for example, what I would want you guys to draw, and I asked you guys to draw this on a piece of paper because I think it would be easier than drawing it on the computer, and then just submit that picture along with this part, is to draw them out. So for example, if we have carbon would have 2 electrons in its first shell, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons in its second shell. So carbon would look like this. We would have 2 electrons and then 4 electrons. Another example is calcium. So calcium is the last one I want you guys to draw. So our calcium would have 2 electrons in the first shell, 2 electrons in our second shell, 3 electrons, I'm so sorry. We would have 2 electrons in our first shell. We would have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons in our second shell, and then 8 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in our third shell, and our fourth shell would have 1 and 2. So I hope that was clear and that you guys can maybe understand a little bit more of what I'm asking. If you have any questions, please let me know.